Pleasant Tuesday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untangle on the Bridge 99 FM. Pleasant morning to everyone. Richie B, have yourself a wonderful day, yourself and the Up and Go crew. Always a pleasure to see you. You all have a wonderful, wonderful morning into afternoon. I want to say a very special morning to those who are gathered on the bridge. Thank you so very much for being on the bridge. We always appreciate your presence on the bridge. In fact, it's because of you why we're here. So very pleasant Tuesday morning to you and a pleasant Tuesday morning to Team Untangle. So it's now time for us to have a conversation with Mr. Kevon Morgan. Mr. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Elise?
I am very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Thank you.
So where are you now?
I'm in the UK. I live in a community called Gosport. It's in the south of UK, close to Portsmouth.
Okay, now Miss Jamaica.
Yeah, no, especially the food.
You love your belly.
Yeah, but
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about you. So let's talk about your background. I know you studied in Jamaica, but you're living in the UK. And what is even
yeah.
more important about this conversation, Kevon, is the fact that so many teachers are now working outside of Jamaica, but we don't reach there yet. Let's hear a little bit
Okay.
about Kevon and who you are.
All right. I grew up in St. Elizabeth. Left there, went to college at Shorted Teachers College. And after that, I did a year as a math coach and then left that job as a math coach and went to teach in the secondary system for 3 years.
What's the difference between a math coach and a math
Mhm.
teacher?
A math coach is really responsible for, well, helping to build the profile of math in schools. So in my job as a math coach for the year, I was assigned to a primary school at the time. And we normally work with teachers and other staff and try to help them with lesson planning and different activities around the school, just to help the students to value maths a bit more, um, help teachers to teach it in different ways that are a bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really working with the admin and the teachers, while as a math teacher, it's you teaching directly. So as a math coach, I didn't teach classes directly unless I'm doing like a team teaching with a teacher. But
Okay.
in secondary system, I'm teaching my own class and carrying my own workload.
Okay. You mentioned helping teachers to teach math in a way that is more enjoyable because you do
Yeah.
realize that the subject that you teach is not enjoyable.
No,
You never know.
it's not particularly enjoyable. I mean, maths has that history, but there are some topics that are good. There are some topics that are enjoyable. But I think what we tried to do was to we have this thing that we call in maths manipulatives. It sounds fancy, but it's really anything that you can manipulate that you can use. A lot of times, what makes it hard for people to grasp maths is that you're just talking at them. But if you're using manipulatives like a bottle or anything that they can actually use to manipulate, to visualize, then it makes it easier for them to apply a concept to it. So it's trying to use different manipulatives or different teaching styles just to engage students a bit more. So I think that's what we were trying to push.
Okay, because you do realize, I think it's fair. A lot of people go into a math class thinking that they can't do maths. So how
Yeah.
do you unravel that fear of learning math?
The thing is, it's getting them to realize that math is real life. The reality is there are some things in maths that are not real life because nobody now gonna stop your daytime and ask you what's X and Y.
Mm-mm.
So there are some things that are not real life, but there's so many things in maths that are just real life. It's just helping people to understand that you can reason through it. And a lot of times we reason through it and we do maths in our everyday life and we just don't realize that we're doing it. So it's getting people to understand that you do it every single day. You're going to the shop, you're buying something, you're working out your change. If you have your bottle is half filled and you need more water, it's just the different types of reasoning and helping them to understand that it's building on the reasoning that we do every single day, but it's just dressing it up as maths and calling it algebra. Then it just sounds more complicated. But it's really a daily thing. It's something we do every day, and it's I think the first thing that we have to bridge is getting people to understand that maths is real life. And
I
then
hear
once they
you.
get that, then yeah, we're halfway there.
I hear you. I don't want to spend too much time on this, Kevon. But I've never used algebra in real life. I don't know. Perhaps you have. I don't know.
Um, the thing is, it happens in a lot of the worded scenarios that are more complicated. We might not use the letters, but the
Mm-hmm.
concept is there. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the big thing behind maths is the words that you see right in front of you. It sounds confusing, but a lot of times the concept that algebra teaches is what we use in real life and not the what's at face value.
I
So we
got
do
you.
use algebra, but just not the words that we might see in a textbook.
I got you. The kind of math that I studied way back in the day, right, seemed a lot more relevant because now everyone has a computer or what you call it on their iPhone, on their phone, whatever
Yeah.
phone they have. And
Mhm.
most people are not using their brains as much anymore as they're using
True.
their phones. Are you allowed to actually use a calculator? Are you allowed to use a calculator in a math exam, let's say? Because you couldn't do it in my day.
Yeah, you can, because even with CXC now, you have your the and one of the papers that's a calculator paper, and you have a paper that's non-calculator. So you are allowed to use it, but at certain levels, we still stress not using the calculator so much, simply because once you use a calculator, you want to be able to make sense of your answer without. So if you type something in the calculator, you need to know, all right, does this actually make sense? If I type 1 plus 1 and it gives me 2, does it
Yes,
make sense that it's actually true?
true,
2.
true.
So it's I think we in this world of technology where people are using devices so much, we've still need to remember that we still have to apply common sense and reasoning with it. So it's how you learned to do maths without the calculator. It's still completely valid. And it's even better because you could be you it helps you to reason through things more than to depend on a device now.
Got you, loud and clear. All right. So you taught math here in Jamaica. You studied at Shortwood Teachers College, and
Yes.
my question to you would be, what inspired you to Have you migrated?
Yes, I have migrated.
What inspired your migration?
Um, it was, I think it's the realization or the decision, the desire for a better life. And it's a very broad statement, but it's a desire for a better life, so better quality of life. I wanted to see where my effort and my work was going and seeing that a bit closer in the short term than waiting 20 years, 30 years down the line to actually see me reaping some rewards from teaching. Because I mean, it is hard work. Wherever you go, teaching is hard work. And it was a choice between staying there and working hard and seeing the benefits some years down the line, as opposed to migrating where it's something where it's easier for me to see the benefits of teaching and for to actually enjoy it while I'm still young.
You know, I hear you loud and clear, and I happen to know how much work teachers put in. It's a daily thing. And even during the
Yes.
holidays, although people might think that teachers are on holiday, I've never met a teacher who is on holiday. They're
No.
always working. So, what would you say to somebody who says, you know, after Jamaica educate you, and as soon as you make a little headway, you're gone a foreign, gone look for money? What would you say to somebody who says that?
Um, the reality is, we I was educated in Jamaica, and I gave back to the institute. I gave back to Jamaica. The reality is, I'm still giving back now, but not in the sense of teaching, because we're still sending back money to support people in whatever way we can. And as I said, it's not chasing money. I mean, I would respect anybody's viewpoint, but it's not chasing money. For me, it's really chasing the opportunity to have a better life.
Yeah, and aren't we all?
That's precisely it. Because we could argue the same that people desiring to change jobs is chasing money, because this whole idea of life is just a game to try to earn more so that you can live a comfortable life, so that you can have your family and your friends having a comfortable life. It's just a game to try to have, to be comfortable and to be happy. And me leaving or me migrating is just my version of chasing happiness. Someone else's version might be changing jobs, but we're all trying to get better.
Or somebody else's version of happiness might be staying,
There we
so
go.
you're
Yeah.
so right, and this is a conversation that won't end for now because of what is happening, the atmosphere here in Jamaica, and especially as we approach the new school year. But let me ask you
Yeah.
this though. You teach or you taught or you math coached 7 to 11-year-old students. Are you doing the
Yes.
same thing in the UK?
No. So I did the math coach for a year. And then after that, I was teaching in secondary school. So year 7 to 11, I worked at Alpha. And then when I migrated here, I'm now teaching, same as Alpha, year 7 to 11. So I'm teaching high school.
Okay. And in terms of satisfaction, because I know that I have chased a dream. I have no regrets about chasing the dream, but it may
Mm.
not be as satisfying as if I was doing something that probably paid less. How, in terms of satisfaction, you're teaching children in the UK, and
Mhm.
you might not depend, you might not depend down here, especially the children. Do you ever think about, what your own children are going through?
In terms of teachers leaving,
In terms of just satisfaction, you teach a class in the UK, and you said what a wonderful teach lesson that was, but it's not my children them. Do you really think that, or I'm asking you, is it as satisfying to have a class of children in the UK that get it as much as having a class here in Jamaica with Jamaican children who you taught something and they got it?
I think where the passion lies with teaching, I think it's the same. Because once I teach and someone gets it, then it is the same. It's not quite the same because I mean at the end of the day, it's not like you're building your own country and all. But I think there are other thing. It's slightly different in Jamaica, but I don't think the difference is enough to say, tip the scales to say, all right, you know what, it makes sense, me just pack up and go back home.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I'm here to ask questions. It
Yeah.
don't necessarily mean that, I think you'd ever pack up your things and come back away. But anyway,
But,
that's that. So, all right. So we're getting to a point here now where schools will soon reopen in September.
yeah.
And I'm sure you know that there is a looming teacher shortage. There are some schools that have 10 teachers leaving one go. And
Yes.
the system going to have to deal with that. What would you say to that situation?
It's a tricky one. I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. I think it's a hard fix. I mean, it's easy to say that it's down to the government, and it's easy to point fingers in the short term to say teachers don't leave and government, this you need to stop this and whatever. But it's very unfortunate when we think about it from the student's perspective, because that's a lot of experience that's leaving the country. That's a lot of know-how that's leaving the country. And yes, we have qualified people coming through colleges and will take up the mantle and will carry on pushing through. But the reality, with all due respect to people who are qualified, experience with qualification is experience and qualification beats just beats pure qualification. So it's unfortunately thinking about it from the student's perspective. Um, but I think there's just too many things to consider. There's a lot to think about because we have to think about teachers' welfare as well in the same situation. Um, so I don't know. It's a tricky situation overall.
And I understand, what you guys are going through. Because let us say somebody who does what I do, nobody questions if I am going to believe in and entertaining anybody else of another culture. So it is almost unfair for teachers and
Yes,
nurses to have to face that criticism of just trying to find a better way of life. And I
that's
know
it.
that the teacher teaching a teaching job here in Jamaica, even a teacher who has graduated from university, is not good. The salary is very low. So
Yes, it is.
it is. Do you find it unfair for us to even be asking you these questions?
I think the demands and certainly some of the comments that have come to light about teachers leaving Jamaica, I think they are unfair because, but I do understand because of the mass or the amount of teachers that are leaving. I can understand why the comments are being made. But I think the sharp comments about teachers leaving are unfair because this has been happening for a while. It's an issue that it's an issue that has been happening for ages, and there are so many other institutions where people migrate. So it and people don't question it. So it's slightly unfair that it's being questioned. But as I said, I do understand why, because of how pivotal teaching is as a career. With all due respect to every career, of course.
No, I get the respect, but something that's very interesting, Kevon. The fact
Hmm.
is that we are questioning it because of the very same thing that you said, because of how important a teacher is to our society. But you still will not
Yes.
pay them.
And that's the thing. That's the question that you can't we can't answer because I mean we look at payment and we think payment is the only reason. It's not the only reason teachers leave, but it is certainly the main reason. And there are other things that could be dealt with to make things easier on teachers, but certainly paying teachers better would be the number one thing because I was reading an article of I think it was yesterday by Natalie McKenzie, and it showed the comparison of salaries of teachers in Caribbean countries, without even going far, just Caribbean countries. Some of them it's 3, 4 times the salary that we teachers are getting in Jamaica, and it's just hard to understand why. It just doesn't make sense because if we are that important to be questioned, why aren't we important enough to be paid?
Very, very reasonable comment. Very reasonable. Okay. So, as we wind up, how are you enjoying teaching in the UK? Your first thing you talked about when I started talking was your belly. What other things? What else do you miss about? Although I understand very clearly why you have left. Let me just make that very clear.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things that you actually
Mhm.
miss?
Um, family number one is a big miss because I moved here with my wife, and then since we've been here, I've linked up with friends and but that immediate family, it that's something you can't replace. Um, the weather, of course, because being in the UK, the weather is just very subjective. Well, not subjective; it's inconsistent. That's the word.
Yes, yes.
So you have some months where it's very warm. Like a few months ago, it was like Jamaican temperatures, very warm. But then for most of the year, it's either rainy or cold. So that's something you have to put your mind to. Um, so I think those for me are the main three things that I'd say I'd miss. So food, yes, family, and yeah, the weather is yeah
Yeah.
something to get used to.
Right. And finally, I know that one of the considerations to solve the problem of teachers leaving the classroom is to invite retired teachers into the classrooms. I don't
Mm.
know how you think about that. I know as if I was a child in school, I would have kind of, I don't know, maybe I would have prefer a young teacher because them kind of understand what's happening now. But probably I would have want my granny too. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think it's a fix, not the fix, but I think it's a fix. It's short term, certainly. So I'd certainly want to know what the government plans to do long term to solve the issue. I mean, it would be good to have younger teachers, yes, because it makes it easy for students to relate and for them to relate to students. Where we have that huge generation gap, it works, but it might not. You might not connect as much as you would if the gap were smaller.
Right.
At the same time, retired teachers will have a lot of experience, and so. But as I said, it's they're retired, and the fact that they're retired, and they're coming back in the system, it means that it cannot be a long-term solution.
Yes.
So I'd certainly want to know what the solution is. And for me, that just feels like it's just a temporary fix, as the government have been applying for ages now, to the issue that's becoming worse and worse. And it's only going to become worse and worse. So I would want to know what the long-term solution is.
The whole of us want to know. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know, Kevon, you have answered these questions so brilliant because I've been grilling you, you know. But you but I just want to say thank you for just being so calm about it and answering these questions brilliantly, because these are the questions that's on our mind here now. And finally, is there anything that you want to say before you leave us?
Ultimately, it's just saying that it while going overseas or coming abroad to teach is looks like a very attractive venture. The truth is, it hasn't worked out for everybody. So I don't want people to feel like, just come to wherever because it's better. It's a package deal. There's pros and there's cons to everything. So I'd say whatever you decide to do, just give it thought. I'm not going to tell anybody to say, all right, pack up and leave, because at the end of the day, I do value their Jamaican system, and I do want our students in Jamaica to have the best opportunities for progress and for growth. But at the same time, I would say just think about whatever decision that it is that you're making. If you want to stay, that's up to you. That's fine. Absolutely no judgment. If you want to leave, I would expect the same. No judgments whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to a personal decision. But do not be swayed by people being overseas and saying, oh, come on, whatever. Think about it. And ultimately, just make the best decision for your personal progress, for your growth and your family.
Kevon, this was a wonderful conversation. Thank you so very much for being on the bridge, and it was lovely meeting you.
That's all right. Thank you for having me, and it's lovely to meet you as well.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, man. Take care.
Wonderful. Lovely young man, and really answered our questions in a way that, really will let us stop and think about some of the things that we've been saying, some of the things that we've been suggesting, some of the judgments that we have been making. Just a lot of food for thought. So thanks again, Kevon Morgan, a math coach who left Jamaica 3 years ago to work in the UK. We're ready now to join our friends over there in New York. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How's everything?
Great. You sound great. Powerful.
Yes. Just getting over some little obstacles or anything where I try to stop me today. Just getting over that. You have to have a good vibe and a good spirit, Mama Kelly. When you see some signs, you just vibes up yourself and know the Most High is with you.
Boy, you say it so right. You just say it so right. Because Mama said there are going to be days like that,
Yeah, man.
There'll be days like that, my mama said. So, yeah.
True indeed. How was your weekend?
The last time you said very good, and then we never remember when we did do.
Well, maybe I can remind you, because you said you were going to do some things over the weekend. You said you were going to check out the murals over the weekend. Did you get a chance to?
I didn't go.
Okay.
But I got some of the pictures from the team. You know what I did this weekend? Let me tell you what we do. I do or something, but what I found what I can share. Not everything I do I share, but what I can share. You ever use a cane juice machine and juice cane yet?
No, Mama Kelly, not personally. No.
Hey, my dear. One of my friends them come down from foreign with a cane juice machine. A small one, not a big one. And make I tell you something. Me don't know who go tell him to teach me how to juice the cane. Me say I just saw me set the way.
Get way.
Me say me get way. And when me full up about 3 buckle and them broke my bad teeth. So me say me go do this, man. Me say nah, man. Just some more cane and me just set that.
Sometimes you have to just have a conscience, Mama Kelly. When people allow you to take things, you have to just show so you have a conscience sometimes.
You got that right.
Sometimes I say, I better you take it out, give it up.
No, I try to have a conscience all day. And the man them just say, no, Mama, say next piece of cane, I'm just saying that. Oh, my conscience I go.
Oh my God. Yeah, man, cane juice. The closest I come to some cane juice this weekend was, the Ray and him nephew there.
That's not juice. Trust me, that's not juice.
Well, that was the closest.
You did say it was the closest. Hey, but you see, wait, let me tell you something, You see, after me left the people them with about 3 Big Mac and cane juice, when me carry it home, you know where I realize, say, up here sugar that, a sugar and water,
Wow.
No, I mean, if in the
Sweet.
purest sense, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you're going to have too often, but trust me. And then the man they must say, when me run with the juice, the man they must say, look at ginger, mama, put it up and say me good.
Yeah, man, the natural things, Mama Kelly, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Natural things. And there's so many things out there that, that's natural, that's in your kitchen, or, you can use on a daily basis, to keep your health up. And, people don't know about enough of these things, but hopefully people will tune in eventually too. Some of the little things that they bypass in them kitchen, it's things like onion, even garlic.
Yes.
Grapes and blueberries and cherries and things of that nature. It's very good.
Very good.
All of those things can help the body when you're in pain. For certain pains, you can use those things.
Yeah. Did you know that you can put onion, or when you use an onion, right? You're not to put it back in the fridge, because once that onion is cut, it absorbs all of the bacteria that is in the fridge. And as a result of which, you can put that same cut onion on perhaps a cut that you have somewhere, and it pulls up. This is something that I've tried, and it works.
That is true, Mama Kelly. I've read actually where they said you can put onion on the bottom of your foot, and it pulls things out through the bottom of your foot. Open up your pores, get some of the toxins out of your body.
Yes, I've proven that. Because I had a cut once years ago, and I put the onion there. I don't know about how much it draw the toxins, but one thing I can tell you is that it healed very, very quickly. So I figured it was drawing the toxins from out.
Right. Also here in New York, well, this happened yesterday. There was a 15-year-old who got his arm severed on the subway because he was trying to subway surf. I'm not sure where they got that idea from, Mama Kelly, but it's something. He was
trying to do what?
Subway surf. It's something where they try to climb on top of the subway or in between the cars and act like they're surfing. He actually fell from the train, and the oncoming train ran over his arm.
Oh my goodness!
They found him unconscious in a pool of blood.
Oh goodness! He survived though.
He survived, but his arm had to be amputated. The rest of it.
Goodness.
Yeah, so
that's so
a sad story. Also, over the weekend, there were a rash of shootings in New York City, in the Bronx and in Brooklyn. A young lady was shot in her head in Brooklyn over the weekend. Party-goer promoter, very well-known young lady here in New York City. Her name is Tani Frenchie. We say condolences to the family, yes, and to the friends. It's a sad situation. She was shot by another woman after a party.
Goodness.
So
wow. That is very sad.
Yeah.
So sad. Wow, we just violent and vicious, right?
I tell you.
Oh, the pictures now. Remember last week, Thursday, we had this conversation with team members from Tivoli Gardens. And you saw a blank slate. You actually saw them priming the high-rise building walls. So there was, up to when we spoke, there was nothing on the walls. So I got some pictures on the weekend, and it really made me smile, because they're very busy trying to put up these pictures, trying to finish the murals. It's going to take a long while. But let's just give our listeners and our viewers an update as to where they have reached and what they did over the weekend. So quickly before our interview.
Now, for those of you who do not have the Irie Jam 360 app, please download it so you could get to see when we feature things here on the app. Also, the Bridge 99 FM. Wow, that's amazing, Mama Kelly. That's beautiful.
Isn't it? And even that thing before, the saying, the quotation before, it just makes so much sense. Keep rolling. It's about 4 of them. That's the artist.
Nice.
And then we have some more.
Yeah, man.
That's the team. Obviously, you see what them have to do.
Yeah, man.
And-
One of them a work, man.
Yeah, man. and what about that's nothing.
Wow.
Nothing unless we are black and powerful. I think that's what that P is. Black and beautiful. Isn't that lovely? That all of that going on for the weekend, you know. And
That's
then
nice.
where's that little boy? There's a little boy with his hand full of paint.
Yeah,
That's
man.
my
Get
favorite
the kids
one.
involved. Get the kids involved.
That's right. That's my favorite one. So that goes to show that these children are intimately involved
Yeah,
in
man.
the painting.
Yeah, man.
And they will remember this forever.
And they themselves will be the same ones, you know, looking out for the murals and making sure that people are taking care of it, and them can even pass on the messages.
There you go.
You know,
Because
so
they're
it's-
part of it.
Yes, it's good to get them involved.
So I guess these kids are part of the reading club. So, you know, we just want to say enough respect to communities who are really making an effort. I love this one. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. So that's the kind of thing. So we're going to keep you posted on as they keep us posted.
Nice, nice, nice.
Right. Nice.
Here's another top story I want to share with you, Mama Kelly. You know that Serena Williams is getting ready to retire, and she began her last tournament here in New York last night, which she won the first round. She moves on to face the number 2 seed now. So hopefully she'll get to win this tournament, the U.S. Open, then retire in style.
That's right.
you know?
I'm really
Yeah, man.
hoping she gets to
Yeah, man.
retire in style.
Yeah, man.
As some of our athletes do. Some of our athletes should be just about ready to retire now. And I'm just hoping that they too will retire in style.
True.
Yeah,
True.
for
True.
real.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to take a break. So we're going to have Etana this afternoon.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to have her on Zoom. Yes.
I believe so.
Yes. All right. So we're going to take a break. We're so forward. We're standing by. We're standing by to have a conversation with Etana, who will be zooming in. So we'll both be talking with Etana, and of course, you know, you did it, Borga?
Yes, Mama Kelly. Looking forward to this conversation, definitely.
Right. So it's all about the Jamrock Reggae Cruise, and quite a few artists are going to be on the cruise. And of course, Etana, is she the only female? Make her look good and see. You know, say Etana. No, she a Naomi. Naomi too. And who else?
Let's see. Let's look.
I think that's it. You know, herself and Naomi. Yeah. Right. But then Nikki Z is going to be on the cruise. so she will make the third queen on the cruise.
Right.
And DJ Roy from your side.
Yes. Yeah, man. Have you ever been on one of these cruises before, Mama Kelly?
We go on a cruise already, right? But it's not a Jamrock cruise. And my friends vow that whenever them going on another cruise, shh, don't tell Elise.
Why is that?
Because, you know, me just the water and let me tell you what me like. Me like to go up on the ship when it now move. and just eat. Just walk up and down and go to all the various places on the ship where I serve food. But once it start to move,
Oh, you get seasick?
yeah. I don't know if it's my mind, but I don't think so because I tend to have that issue, motion sickness.
Right,
So
right.
it's not necessarily the nicest thing for me.
And I want to go on one of these Jamrock cruises, Mama Kelly. But now tell no lie, I didn't get to go on any of them yet, so I would love to attend one.
So you've never been on a cruise before?
Not on the Jamrock cruise. No.
Okay. Well, you know, it's fun. You know, another thing that I've always thought about, Junior Gang, if you're listening, please don't take it as no disrespect. But this whole heap of artists will have you in a captive place because you can't move, you can't swim overboard, and everybody else say, Mama Kelly, see one of my CD, then you don't get my CD, oh, see my CD, and you can't move, you know. You have to just say, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You know, that's one of my favorite things about being on a boat ride, Mama Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
is that, you know, when you're playing for the audience, you know, you have to just captivate them and hold them. And it's the same thing with the cruise. You have to just have entertainment, you know, to just keep everybody's minds occupied, you know, so nobody can go nowhere until it's done.
It was reported that this particular artist, when him finish work, him said to him manager, I'm unready, you know, so... So the manager said, then go on, go on, my brother.
Me run that joke with my friend them more time. Me up on a boat, you know. Thump them fist and say, yo, me a Lego, you know. And them a thump off at my fist and I say, all right, look more till them catch themselves couple seconds after.
Oi. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
That's another thing with the cruise and with the boat. I don't mind the boat ride, you know. I'll do it, you know, kind of rocky, but I don't mind the boat ride because I can see which part me did there and which part me going right back to. But the ship, no, you know.
Yeah, they're way out in the sea. All you can see is the horizon, stars, the sky.
We think it's claustrophobic. It can be.
But I mean, the good thing with these cruises and these big old ships is that you can dip on it and you don't see some people, you know, Mama Kelly. You cannot look for people for days and not find them, you know.
I them me like. No, what is the friend them and me have now go allow that in a white party them just up in a white. Everything them. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, man.
So
you can't miss the festivities because that's part of the experience, you know. But I mean, other things, you know, that extra curricular activities. You know, maybe you want to sleep a little bit. As I was just having a conversation with my brother Dave Judah, you know, him say he might have to, if him go up on one of these cruises, he might have to take a 1 day and sleep.
yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah,
rest
look on
up.
all that now. Look on people. Me no good like that, you know, Beauregard. Look on all the poor people now. A whole heap of people that, you know,
Yeah, man.
enough people. But,
Yeah,
you know,
man,
for
look there.
those who, you know, who like them kind of things, you go for it because I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I've been on a cruise, you know, because my sister actually works with a shipping company. But I'm there before it moves off. I am there through every single cabin. I look for food. Just
Yeah, man. I think that these cruises are one of the best things that's happened in our culture in the past couple of years. You know, going out on the ocean and, you know, having fun with your music and the entertainment and even the sound clash part of it. You know, big up the sounds that go out there and clash and, you know, keep the people them entertained, give them a different vibe and a different energy other than the parties.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the good thing about this cruise is that they took a break, so I'm sure these artists are just so excited to come and entertain their fans again.
Yes.
So is Etana ready for us? Hello, Etana.
Hi, how are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I am fantastic, Elise.
Greetings, Etana. Greetings.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing lovely. How is everything with you?
Oh, one day at a time.
See there?
You know who you're talking to, Etana?
Mama Elise, I know
No,
who I'm talking to.
Right. And then my co-host is Killer Boo Beauregard. He's in New York. I'm in Jamaica. Where you?
Okay, Labu.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Virginia at the moment, looking through my hotel window. I'm on tour. I'm on tour in the US. I left Europe just like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And now I'm in the US finishing up my tour for the mid-September. And then I'm going to be off to the UK.
Okay.
How was the tour?
Which one?
The one you are currently on, the dates that you have currently did in this tour. How was it?
In Europe, it was fantastic. Every festival, all the festivals were just like the people were ready to come back out again, and the band was ready to perform again. And I brought my whole band, and we just had fun.
Let me ask you this, Etana, because you've not gotten a chance to perform for your fans for quite a while. What was that feeling like to come back out after all the lockdown and to see the kind of anticipation and expectation from reggae lovers?
Oh gosh, overwhelming sometimes. And the messages that they come and like the most popular line is, we needed this.
Ah, yes.
We needed this.
Yes.
We needed this. So, I mean, I think that it's more than just dancing and singing. It was also like a blessing to the people, you know, to just be blessed with the music all over again, the vibe, the energy, and to feel other people and see a lot of people next to you without
Yes.
a mask and all the madness that we had to go through,
Right. It's right.
right?
So you're basically happy now that everything is over. This feels like a new start to you.
No, not feels like it is. It's
Nice.
after what, 2 years?
A new
two
beginning.
years of well, I did tour a little bit in last year, you know, but to go full on, it definitely is a new. It feels like a new, like a start over.
But you know something, Doitana, as you talk about how the people needed it, the entertainers needed it too, you know. Only did need
All
it too,
the
you know.
way,
All away.
all the way.
True, man. Because I think this whole time when we took the break, it for those who didn't know, it drove home the point that we really survive on each other's energies, you know.
Gosh, we sure did. We sure do. Every day, all day. And not only that, like I mean, during the pandemic, I got some time to, restructure,
Yes.
re to address some things that I was not able to do, and things that I didn't have time for,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but I did miss the stage. I
Yeah.
did miss, hanging out with my band members and meeting the fans and everything. I missed all of it. And some people didn't quite make it out just the same. Some people got worse. Some people actually have mental breakdowns that they have to deal with and stuff like that. So
Absolutely, that's so true and so sad. And this is the first time I've gotten a chance to tell you congrats on your Grammy nomination. And
thank you.
can I just tell you that I was rooting for your album, and it's not because you're a woman. I was just rooting for it, Anna. Know these things.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, when when the pandemic started, I was gonna do Gemini. I remember in 2020 when we were doing the album Gemini, and people were saying, "Are you gonna hold back the release of the album because you're not gonna be able to promote it the way you normally would, and you're not gonna be able to tour all of these things?" And I said, "I'm going to release the album just the same," and I kept working and kept recording and kept promoting with whatever platform I could, whatever window I had, and I used every opportunity, every platform, in every way possible to promote the music. And I'm grateful that it was recognized, by my peers in music.
And just one last thing before Killaboo comes in. You know me well, Etana, and
Yes.
I don't have a lot of Vibes Cartel tunes that I play. But you
Yes.
said the one with you and him? Oh, them no understand.
It's just about a feeling.
You know the part I love when you say Eternal. You say,
Me, I mean, everybody loved the part there. And I think one of the funniest things for me is when people come in and say, so, um, uh, this is a cartel song. We're gonna have to listen to it first. We can't just play it. And I'm like, yes, you can. Just play the song and you will see. And then them start say, oh, it's such a different approach from Vibes Cartel. I'm like, the man is an artist. He is a
Exactly.
creator. So what do you expect?
Exactly.
Everything to sound the same?
Yeah,
No,
man. Yeah, and can I tell
So
you what I love about it? Those lyrics he did for you. He
exactly.
did them for you.
Exactly. He's a creator and he knows what to do. He's very smart. And I
Very bright.
appreciate every word and every line.
Yes. Yes.
You know, Etana, during the Grammys, I did a thing here at Irish Jam Radio called Grammy Spotlight, and that was something that we definitely focused on, your album. And I would play a song from the album every week. I had featured one person who was
Oh,
nominated
thank you.
for the Grammy. So that was one of my major features here during the Grammy. So congratulations to you also.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
there's
you.
the collab with yourself and Junior Gong.
Yes, I love that song. Every time we start playing that song, performing that song on stage, the people them just go crazy. They go wild in the festivals. And then when it gets to the part where we say, pull up, and we just stop it, everybody just like freeze. Like, what's happening? Drop the track back again.
And you actually produced, you produced this album yourself?
I produced it with my team,
Right.
my husband, which is my other half, my manager, and my team members, my musicians, the people who I've always worked with for years, known each other for like over 10 years now. We all did it together.
Beautiful. Nice.
What has the feedback been like on the album?
Mad. All over the place. I mean, the appreciation for the collaboration and the meaning. The word pamoja means together.
Right.
And during the pandemic, the whole talk of families separating, especially Black families, you know, I don't think we need any more separation and any more problems in our lives, considering all that we have been through for so many years. So the point of creating Pamoja is to encourage people to stick together and stay together and work together, you know, not just on a family level, but on a, you know, a broader social scale.
Absolutely. I love that. What you say Pamoja mean?
Swahili, it means together in Swahili.
Okay. Okay, I'll say it with a different meaning now. Together. Pamoja.
Together in Swahili, yes.
Okay.
I like the fact that you also, you know, gave the album some Afrobeats sounds to it. What was it like working with those artists, Stone Boy and the other artists that's also on the album?
I mean, it was cool working with everybody on the album, Stone Boy and Legacy with Nai Boy from Kenya and Tanzania. Everybody, they just responded professionally and in a timely manner. And I think they gave it their best. Like when you listen back to the song, you would think that we were all sitting in the studio together working on every single song, you know? But these people were all over the world, and that was the point. I've never done that many collaborations before on any project. And it was purposely done so to, you know, remind people that no matter where you are across the world, we are still connected in many different ways, and we do need to work together.
Yeah, beautiful.
Speaking of being across the world, you just got back from Europe. You're currently touring the United States. When is it that the tri-state area going to get to see Etana, the Strong One?
I will be at SOB's.
Oh, wow.
I think it's September 8th.
Nice.
That's like right around the corner. And so I'm looking forward to being in SOBs, because every time we put up the tour dates, people from New York are like, why aren't you coming to New York? Why aren't you coming to New York? We need to see you in New York. So I made sure that New York was part of it this time.
SOBs can't hold you.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
you know, I like the up close and personal, and I think that because of the way things are now, you know, it's still like we're out of the pandemic, but people are still struggling in different ways, and especially in the state of New York as well. So I want to make sure that I, you know, kind of try balance the thing, you know, give it a small enough up close and personal vibe. And if everybody don't fit, then we have to go do it again. Yeah.
It should be a good vibe. SOB is a wonderful vibe all the time, you know. So a lot of people here will be looking forward to it. But like Mama Kelly said, a lot of people, you know, are coming out to see you and they haven't seen you in a while. So, you know, it's supposed to ram off. Yeah, man.
I know.
We're going to take a commercial break, Etana, and then when we come forward, we're going to talk about the cruise. And yeah, so we soon come. Yes, beautiful. That picture behind you, Etana, is so beautiful. Is that one of your promotional pictures?
The cover for the new acoustic project,
Oh.
Acoustic Gold. But it was also used as the backdrop for the fire for the Birmingham and Islington show in England.
Okay, got you.
Nice.
Very
That's good.
pretty.
It looks very well.
Thank you.
So the
I know there's gonna be some talk somewhere, but I'm ready for it.
There's gonna be some
listen
what?
to them. Don't
Some
listen
what?
to them, yeah, Etana.
Some talk somewhere, but I'm ready for them.
Etana, because you know as well as I do. If nobody not talk, nothing not go on for you, you know.
And that's true. That is true.
Yeah, for real. I mean, come on, give them
That
something
is
to
true.
say. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's very pretty. Very nice.
Thank you.
So the Jamrock cruise, are you ready?
Long time. When I went tomorrow? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm ready. I went on the first one. I think I performed on the first one, the very first one. And I'm ready to do so again one more time and set some fire and then cool it back down.
What was your favorite thing about the first one, performing the first time on the Jamrock cruise?
Just being on the cruise and seeing everybody in reggae, familiar faces in reggae. I think it's a good vibe. I know, and every energy, every person, right, is always good. But when you think about the works that they put in, that's what I focus on most. It's just the works, and to see the people who create it more than thinking about personalities. I think about the works that they did and the faces, the familiar faces in reggae music. And that to me is just huge.
I love that. I love how you put it because there has to be some reason that you go. And
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, and there's so many different personalities. I'm just looking through the lineup. And there are just so many different personalities. It's only you and Naomi are the only two women on the cruise, you're not glad. No, no,
Well,
that,
I
no,
was
no.
the,
I'm
I
gonna
was
ask
the,
that different. Are you glad?
well, the first one, I was the only female on the
Really?
cruise. Yes. So, I mean, I always like to see females everywhere in reggae because you as a woman in reggae music yourself, you understand our journey and our struggle and you've seen it and you know it.
Yes.
And so I'm always happy to see more females all the time everywhere in reggae music.
Yes, I love that response. Ignore the question that I asked. It was such a terrible thing to ask.
No, I mean I'm happy to be on there, and I was the first one on the first female on the cruise when I was there. And I remember the question being asked by the fans, why we're not seeing more females on there? Why we're not seeing more females? I saw that,
Yeah.
but it wasn't for me to answer or to say, so I didn't say anything.
Right, right,
I guess
right.
the way Mama Kelly
Yeah.
wanted to say it is if you don't feel special.
Ah, there you go.
Just a small group of females, you and someone else performing amongst these
I guess
giants. Yeah.
that's the point and the purpose to honor the female or to make the female feel special by them being few
Right.
on the festival. And yeah, it does say a lot, but more than anything, I think there's still a lot more work to be done on the female side as it relates to the cruise, and I think they'll get there. There are
Yeah.
a lot of kings, and so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more females.
Right. Something, Etana, before we even seal up this interview, there's just something that I need to say to you about you. And it's just your level of consistency. I know that with all the different energies coming at you,
Yeah.
your hairstyle, if you should have, that the frock, all these kind of
Oh
things. I,
Jesus.
I know, I
Yes.
know. But you have remained consistent. Tell us what's the formula for that.
Well, I said to somebody the other day, she asked me, am I ever nervous? And I said to her, I know myself and I know my purpose and I know what I started out. I know my mission and I've never stepped aside. I never put that aside in any way and I also believe that, I wouldn't say believe, I know that I have one life to live in this flesh, right? And I don't want people dictating how my journey should go. But I do know that my purpose, that I am in line with my purpose and I'm in line with my mission, the same mission that I started out with from the beginning, which is to inspire and to elevate and to make people's load lighter, make them journey a little bit lighter, make the struggles a little less, and put a smile on them face, and put strength in them heart through music. And I've never
Beautiful.
deterred from that.
You really never have. But you know, you have to be the warrior queen that you are. That we know you are.
All the time.
Every
All the
time.
time.
Nice.
Nah, it's all
You
the
know,
time.
Etana, and hearing you say all of that and how much you inspire people and you know in your purpose, who is it that you listen to? Who inspires you right now?
I listen to all great people in music, all creators, different kinds of music, from rock to pop to hip hop to dancehall. I listen to all the great ones. I just don't anything that make my spirit feel like a funny or my energy just feel like I'm not supposed to. Then I don't. I listen to the stuff that feeds me.
Nice. Nice. Mama?
I'm just looking at her. I look for her.
I may look on the poster.
No, because you know why me I look for you, Etana. I just looking at you because I remember the first time I saw you. It was in I think it was Miami. I know it was South Florida though, and you were a backup singer at the time. And I tell the
For
story
Richie
all
Spice.
the time with Richie Spice, and I remember thinking to myself, whoever this lady is, I mean, it says to Richie Spice. Whoever this lady is, no disrespect, but I'm a backup singer. One. And two, no, and two, I really hope she can sing, because I was looking, no, because me I look on a superstar, and I'm thinking to myself, she can't just go up on the stage and pretty like, oh, me see she pretty there. She can do something. And when I found out, them time there, you never have no additives. It was just the raw Etana. I don't even think it did have an earring. No,
Nothing.
Nothing. I remember.
Nothing.
And you stood out. You shone so brightly. So I'm not surprised you're here today. Not surprised.
Well, then you were part of the journey too, if you would be honest, because you helped carried me all the way through musically, playing the music on the radio, playing all the songs as them come. And you know what? You know what's so funny? I remember there were days, right, when we were promoting and we were carrying the music, and I could not find you for nothing. I just we couldn't reach you. And you chose to play the songs you like to play, and you chose to play it when you're ready and when you wanted to.
And you identify with that, right?
But you know why I appreciate it so much? Because I know I didn't tell you, say, play this.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, me
you
see it.
played because you felt like it, and that's good. I like that. I appreciate that.
I always saw you as the singing version to my selection.
Mad.
You understand where I come from? Yeah, warrior
yeah,
queen.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
say warrior queen,
All the time.
Every
All the
time.
time. I appreciate every bit of you and all the time that you spend on here.
Yeah, thank you so much, sis.
Well, Etana, I want to thank you for, stopping by today and having this conversation with us. And I wish you all the best in everything that you are getting ready to do. Good luck with the rest of your tour and also with the Jamrock cruise that's coming up in December. And that's going to be a great one.
All the best to you too.
All right.
All the best to you too. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
How well? Oh, you did tell us how well yourself and Junior Gang doing. So I can just imagine when you do that combination on the cruise.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
oh,
hey.
Yeah, man. And do me a favor, just
fire.
bless up. All
We're waiting on Mama Kelly to rejoin us, seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Etana, like I said, man, good luck on the cruise, and like Mama Kelly was just saying.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of people,
It's exciting.
yeah, a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that song as well, to see you and Junior Gang. Have you ever performed? Have you ever performed with him before?
No,
Wow, so this is
I
the first
performed
time.
with Joe Mercer before, but not Junior Gang. I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, that's something that's going to be great. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
No, for real. So this is how we say so long. Just continue to grow, continue to glow as you grow, continue to be beautiful, continue to be that woman who we just love so much because you're so consistent. Just continue to be a
Thank you
Tana.
so much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Bless up, Etana. Stay strong.
Bless. I sure will.
All right. So that's it. That's it. It's now 12:57, and this is how we say so long. That was wonderful, Beauregard.
Yes, it was, Mama Kelly. As usual, as always. It's great when we have these guests on, Mama Kelly, where we can really, sit down and have a conversation, find out how their lives are going and, things that they're getting ready to do. And like she said, you have been a part of it. And that's something that she holds dear to her heart. The fact that you were there from the beginning and to this day, 2022, you're still there pushing.
Give him the most high thanks for that,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
man.
right, yeah. So I guess Thursday we're going to have another guest from off the cruise, right? I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're looking forward. We're not sure who it is yet, but we're looking forward to that.
All right. You have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, Mama Kelly.
Same to you.
And to everybody in Jamaica, want to stay safe and bless up.
Tri-State, bless upon yourself. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
So thank you once again, and thank you very much. It's wonderful having Etana. She's always one of my favorites, and it's wonderful talking to her. Just remember that she's going to be on the Jam Rock Cruise. That's the Jam Rock Reggae Cruise, and this Jam Rock Reggae Cruise starts on the 7th of December and goes to the 12th of December, and it has a lineup of artists. We're going to be telling you more about it because I get the feeling that we're going to be doing some promotions for them. So come Thursday, we'll tell you who we're going to be talking to again. Always a pleasure. Give thanks and one big heart of love.